Hi, Facebook family and friends. I'm T. Hatchett,
What's up, y'all?
and we are the Hatchet Chronicles.
What's going on?
Coming to you live. Today's topic first is stand up or shut up.
Yeah, it's great.
And before we started, of course, we have to do our plugs and our public announcement. Public announcement. Everything that we talk about during the Hatchet Chronicles is our opinion of what we go through. We are not licensed in
We're not
anything.
counselors,
We're not
psychiatrists,
counselors.
none of that.
No. So,
Everything is our opinion.
yeah, so don't go.
Trying to do something slick.
Yeah. What we got going on. Shout out to my sister Val for her web series, The Ladies of the Book Club. Her books are still available. The book club 1, the book club 2, Cal's Return. Just IM me, or you can reach her on Valerie McAllister on Facebook, or my husband, because he'll do it too.
No.
Oh, you hear that, Val? See?
I mean that towards her.
Yeah, right.
Sister, it wasn't me.
um, Also, my book, The Power of God, is still available. You can IM me, IM my husband. Text us if you have our number. It's $15.99 for the. I mean, I'm sorry, $15 for the copy of the book, autographed copy, and then $3 shipping and handling. And I take PayPal, credit card, and Cash App. Also, shout out to my sister Valerie again. She is doing the Corona Chronicles. I have a chapter in that. We have 15 authors that's putting together that book. That should be out soon, so look out for that. I am also writing a book, my second book, which is called Life After Bent Needs. I'm working on that, so look out for that. I am also co-authoring a book with my sweetie over here called From My Rib. I got it right. So look out for that. So we're pretty busy. Also, I'm gonna be starting um, promoting for Hatchet Social Circles because I help businesses get up and running, and so I'm gonna be doing a little bit more with that also. So look out for that. Oh gee, I still create and negotiate contracts for people. So if anybody needs a contract, you know, reach out to me. And I think that's enough for my schedule. What you got going on with your schedule? Oh, guys, did y'all hear my husband last Thursday? I hope everybody was on because he did his thing. I'm so proud of him.
With that being said, I appreciate everybody that came out and joined me and all of that. I had some technical difficulties that I'm really not happy about, even though I had about 300 people check in with me. So I'm definitely I'm so grateful for that. This Thursday, I don't want to cancel, but if I can't get everything the way I need it to be, you'll get everybody will get a notice before Thursday. So prayerfully, we'll be able to straighten everything out.
So please pray for us because we do want to party on Thursday.
I got some things I want to do Thursday, man. I want to throw it back. I'm gonna do a throwback Thursday, man. It's gonna be crazy. This just man, oh man, oh man, oh man. But anyway, I got the DJ thing going on now once again, and I'm so happy about that because I haven't DJed in 20 years, 25 years, as a matter of fact. Watch my. I still got the B tape out there, man, on all stream sites. Go scoop that up, and thank you to everyone that did pick it up already. Still working on the class, for beat makers, the beginners, beat makers. Still working on that class. That thing it entails a lot. It entails a lot, So I'm still working on that, but we're gonna be coming to you soon with that. And I got some other stuff in the works. Right now, man, just really concentrating on actually Life and Times of Frank Bates, which is an album that I'm putting out, and it's actually a body of work of mine that I've done over the years, features and songs by myself and stuff like that. Because like for over the years, everybody really knows me for just producing, but I got skills on the mic too. So
You got
I'm gonna
skills.
be releasing that, so y'all can check that out too. So with that being said, Chef Lambo Rizze is in the building. What up, though? Um, with that being said, today's topic, man, is stand up or shut up,
All right now.
and that's really deep.
Oh, we forgot to make the announcement. Oh, by the way, big announcement. We have addition to the Hatchet Chronicles behind the scenes.
We have a producer,
We have a producer,
and we're not
my
gonna.
mommy.
And it's a beautiful thing. Boy, you can't hold water, can you?
No.
Okay. What up?
So anyway, so that being said, stand up or shut up. That is, we were talking about how the police brutality has against our people, and how people they stand around and they film people being wronged on so many levels. The website is very popular for fights and people beating each other up and police brutality and all kinds of wrong things that people just stand around and film, and no one does anything about it. So the question was posed. Let's say, well, let's start with you, baby. Like, you're on a train and you see a woman being abused by her spouse or her significant other. Would you just walk away because it's not your business? Would you get involved? What would you do?
Um, Knowing me, more than likely, I'm gonna get involved because number one, and this is just my personal opinion. This is just how I feel. I'm not with men beating on women. That's a coward. I think the cats that do that are cowards. They punks, and I don't feel them. I don't feel cats that beat on women. First of all. Secondly, to just stand by and watch somebody just beat up a woman like that, man, without intervening. And you know what? Like, it could be a lot with that. You understand what I'm saying? It
Mm-hmm.
could be a lot. You never know what she may have done. She could have stole his money. She could have cheated on him. Anything. She could have gave him an STD. Or I mean, not saying that that's what the case is, but I'm just saying it could be a number of things that happen in order for them to get to that point.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, she was wrong, and he's is he right because he beats her up for it?
Two wrongs don't make a right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
I
so
don't.
you're saying
I
that's
wouldn't.
your feelings on a woman getting beat. What if it was the police? Like, let's say you was there during the time of George Floyd. Would you have stepped in, knowing that could have caused you to either get killed or go to jail? How do you feel about that?
At this point, man, that's crazy because you know, um, I don't know, man. I think they would have just had to. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I think they would just have to. They would have to tase me or something because come on, man. Like that's a life. That's a life. And I know that's the police and they're doing their job, quote unquote. But it's a way to do your job. And see, a lot of people don't understand. In police training, when you go to the academy, they teach you that by any means necessary, your last resort is to pull your weapon. And you only should pull your weapon if you feel like your life is in danger. So with someone down on the ground and you kneeling on their neck, how dangerous could you really be?
And also, they have tasers, so you are
Right.
trained
They
to.
have
They
mace.
are first supposed to pull their tasers, not their gun.
They have mace also. And if you, I mean, I know it's people that are crazy. I don't like to say that like that, but there are people that are mentally unbalanced that I've seen get sprayed with mace and they still fight. They still keep coming.
Well, here's baby. You're
But
very diplomatical, and you look at both sides, and that's a good thing. But here's how I feel about it.
people tired.
Yeah, and I was raised to stand up. I just that was in. We spoke about that. I told my husband a story, and I'm not going to go into details about the story. But one time, a guy that I was with, you know, we had broke up. I had broke up with him, and through that broke up, I made an action that later he came after me about. And I was wrong, the action that I made, that he came after me. But the fact that he came after me and he stepped to me, we were in a bar, that neighborhood bar. And every guy in that bar, because we all knew each other, stepped to him. And they didn't care about what I had did. What they cared about is that a man stepped to a woman like he was going to hit her, and that was not allowed. And even when I was a child, my sister and I remember we were, I think, like in 10th grade or ninth grade, something like that. And the whole school, no, we were in 11th. I was in 11th. She was in 10th. The whole school was getting ready to beat up these two little girls. Well, they're not wasn't little. They were the same age as we were, but they were little. And the whole class wanted to beat them up. And my sister and I were walking home, and we turned back around and we stood in front of those girls, and we was like, if you beat them up, you got to beat us up. Mm-hmm. And we didn't care what they did. It was just, that's the way we were raised. We were raised to stand up. We were raised to fight for what we believed in. And because of that, I am very, very, I don't want to use the word militant. I guess people would use that word, but I don't like that word. It's not about being militant. It's about, I believe in fighting and dying for what I believe in. And period, point blank. I don't believe in sitting around taking pictures. Sometimes the pictures can help, but that's not if I was there, I would either be dead, in jail, tased, or what have you, because I just don't believe in just wrongdoing. I'm gonna stand up and take the consequences of whatever that is. And I pray every day about not being in situations, because I have always said, I'm sure everybody remembers Sandra Bland. For me, I wouldn't have made it to jail. They would have had to put me down right there, because I knew I would have known what was coming, and I'd rather die in the streets. And I don't know if that's right or wrong, or even if that sounds right or wrong, but that's just my belief in how I am. I am ready to die for what I believe in. And there's just no ifs, and buts about that.
And see, too, and, in a perfect world, it should be, it shouldn't be that way.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? It should be, okay, get out of the car, let me check you, cuff you, put you in the car and drive off, in a perfect world. But we don't live in a perfect world, and it's terrible, because I believe like a lot of those, every cop is not bad. Let me just make a disclaimer with that because I got some friends that are sheriff's officers and police officers and stuff like that, and those are my guys. But every cop is not bad. It's the ones that we always say they was punks in school. You know what I mean? They was the ones getting bullied in school, and then they get a job on a police force, and now they want to, revenge, and they want to take that,
But it's
all those
not
years of
only
being
that.
bullied out on someone else. You know
But
what I
it's
mean?
not only
No, it's
that.
not only that.
This is actual war against black people.
It is. It is. I believe it. I believe it.
And so, because in actuality, there are some black officers who have done wrong.
I saw something maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and two black officers pulled a car over, and there was two brothers that was driving the car, and one of the officers pulled the driver out the car. He got him cuffed up, and he got him, on the side, and they talking, and the other officers on the passenger side, and you can see the passenger side door open. And so the other cop, he's putting his gloves on, getting his mask on and all of that. And the guy that was sitting on the passenger side was like, "You keep asking me for information, and I don't have nothing to do with this. You pulled him over. This is his car. What do you need my information for?" He said, "I wasn't driving. You asked me for my license. I'm not driving. I'm sitting here. I'm a passenger. That's it." So the cop, they going back and forth. So the cop grabs him and pulls him out of the car, scoops him up and slams him on the ground. And when he did that, he did it in front. It was some guys. They was all in front of like a little chicken shack or something. And them dudes that was out there was like, "Man, we ain't having this. Y'all black too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what y'all doing? Like, we not even having that." And about 3 or 4 dudes ran over there. They grabbed the cop and they pulling them off of the guy that he slammed. And then some other cops came up. A white cop came up, and some brother with dreads hooked off on him, bust his nose, and he bleeding. It started turning to something really crazy. And I'm just like, yo, you know what? They tired, man.
We are tired.
And see, and the difference between our generation and this generation.
Like, this generation don't care.
They don't care.
They have no respect.
And the police officers need to know that these jokers out here, they running around with AK-47s and AR-15s and 50 cals, and they well equipped in these streets out here. And these police officers, man, they going little extra mile. And these young cats out here, man, they don't have. Man, listen, they'll tag a cop just to get a name. You know what I mean? They ain't having it. They're not having it. But and you know what? I don't blame them. I can't blame them.
And I don't
we used to get harassed by the police all the time. I remember one time we was having a cookout in my backyard, and they kept calling us a gang, but we had a studio upstairs in the attic, and we always had people at our crib. No matter what, you could find 12, 15 dudes at my house any given day, 15 or more, right? And one time we was having a little cookout. We all put our money together, and we got some stuff on the grill. And my mom was actually there this day. And we had a 6-foot gate that closed the driveway off. One of the cops, they pulled up, opened the gates, and they drove up in the back and got out the car and said, "Hey, here's the Easter Bunny." And we was like, "What?" And my brother-in-law came outside with a pistol and was like, "If y'all don't get off my property, I'm going to start lighting y'all up." And Mom was like, "Wait a minute. Y'all can't just ride back here like you on private property now. Like, y'all can't just come back here and keep harassing them like that. Like, they're not doing anything." You know what I mean? They thought we had a gang and all this other stuff on Clinton Ave. It was a big thing, man. They used to harass us all the time. So I know what it's like to be harassed by the police. And then there was black cops too. We got robbed by the police. So I already know what these jokers out here is feeling. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the police at all. But it's not everyone. It's not everyone, but the majority of them, like I have to have some type of, I have to get some type of feeling from them in order for me to interact with them. Other than that, I just don't say nothing. I'll be quiet.
Okay,
You
but
know,
there's other ways. You know, when we say stand up or shut up, there is other ways to stand up. It does not have to all the time lead
be
to
violence.
violence.
No, it doesn't.
There's, like, for instance, and I know that a lot of people might have something to say about this, but you know, when Mr. K, because I don't ever say his name, I just say Mr. K. First of all, let me just say, before I was a die-hard 49ers fan, okay? Anybody that knows me will tell you, hey baby, anybody that knows me will tell you
Hey,
how
baby.
much of a die-hard 49er fan
NFL.
I was, okay? Now, when all that went down with Mr. K, automatically I stopped football altogether. Why did I do that? Because of the fact that I understood his purpose behind that. And for me, my part of standing up was no more football. Just like there's other ways to stand up in the stores we shop in. You know, if you see something, say something. Like, for instance, this taking um video of everything. How about stepping in instead of taking a video? How about stepping in? And like he said, that the cop guy said, it's not allowed. How about stepping in for your sisters? You know, brothers, be that man. You don't have to go with her or have something going on with her. Stepping in, step up or shut up. So it doesn't necessarily have to always be violence, but we have to make a stand.
You're right.
Half the reason why things are getting away or allowed to get away with so much is because most of us are asleep. Most of us are not willing to give of ourselves, like give up football or give up this or don't go shopping at this store. Now I know sometimes it's hard, like for instance, Walmart. Walmart prices is probably the lowest prices in the world. And everybody is like, well, you know, I'm falling on hard times. I don't have no other choice. But right now, there's something going around promoting black businesses. We need to get on that bandwagon of promoting black businesses. We need to rise up. We need to make our own community and do our own. Rosewood was a perfect example. They had their own communities. They owned their own land. And that was back in the time where slavery was still very, very much alive.
Yeah.
But yet they owned their own land. They had their own community. They had their own stores.
And yet they came in.
Yes, they
burnt
did.
everything down to the ground.
Yes, they
And
did.
destroyed everything and took everything we had. Then,
Yes,
you
they
understand what I'm
did.
saying? So, like, I'm not condoning like looting and stuff like that, but like it comes to a point like, yo, man, everything we do, y'all destroy it in their own way.
But
They
we can
destroy it.
rebuild it. Because they can't destroy us.
They
because
can't. But I'm just saying, and believe me, y'all, I'm not condoning violence. I'm the most peaceful dude there is, man. I'm not beat for the violence, man. I'm not. But if I have to get busy, it is what it is. But I would rather, you know, let's talk it out. Let's try to work it out some type of way, something. But, you know, like it's so tough, man. And then you start thinking about like, you know, how they've been they touch everything that we have. They touch in their own way, and they just and somehow they destroy it. You know what I mean?
They can knock us down, but they can't destroy us. Right. They've been trying to destroy us
for centuries.
And we're still here.
We are.
So you got to ask the question: why are we still here? Could it be that we are the chosen ones? Just my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not. I wouldn't doubt that. at all. But I'm just saying, I understand like why these protests are turning violent.
Yeah, and I do too. And
And that's just my stand.
I'm
I
not
understand.
saying that
I mean,
they're right or wrong. What I'm saying is
there
that
are other ways except for violence.
we can do. What I'm saying is that we, with that, there's other ways to do things too, along with that.
I think too, like this, the best way to me to really get some type of retribution, I guess you want to say, hold on to your dollar, man. Hold on to the black dollar for a minute.
I think you need to
Stop
start
going into all of these stores.
Because
wait. I'm just saying, like, for instance, you know, if all black people, if we just for one day, stop going to Target. Stop spending your money at Target one day.
What if that's the closest store and you got a single mom and she has to feed her kids, and that's the closest place that she can walk to feed her kid? That's not. I mean,
look, if there's a cab, you can get a cab to the store.
What if she don't have the money for that?
Okay, I understand that too, but I'm just saying, okay, but that's one mother.
I'm saying that it might not be one mother. It might be a neighborhood. What I'm saying is, as opposed to going to Target, how about building your own? How about black people building their own store, like Target, in their neighborhood?
What's happening, bro?
How about that?
Right, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that.
That's what we need to be doing, is building our own.
That's basically like not giving them our money.
I know, but I'm saying is that not just not give them our money. I'm saying build our own. Have our own stuff in our own community. That's what we got to start doing. We got to start supporting each other. We got to change that black people can't come together. Or we the only race that work together. We got to change that. Because there was a time that it was only us and we were only fighting for us. There was a time back in slavery where we stood for each other. There was a time not even having to go that far. The Black Panthers. The Black Panthers, now I know what they put on TV about the Black Panthers, but for real, they took care of their neighborhood. They fed their kids.
Yes, they
and
did.
Guess what? Let's talk about now. I do not condone. Okay, let's talk about this. I don't condone gangs by no way, form, or fashion. But back in the day, the gangs had some kind of morale, and no mothers and no kids, and they took care. And even though
they took care of the neighborhood,
they took care of their neighborhood.
Let's talk about the Black Panthers for a minute. You know, every time we create a movement, they figure out a way to infiltrate and destroy it. Right? So we have to just understand that, okay, so they did it that time, we could put it together again and do it again. We could put it together and do it again. We just got to keep trying. You know what I'm saying? You know?
Exactly.
Because, you know, the FBI and what is his name, man? I can't remember his name, but the detective that was the gay detective that kind of like I'm not gonna say single-handedly, but he was the one for the basic downfall of the Black Panthers.
What happened with the Black Panthers is they flooded our areas with guns and drugs and tried to blame it on them.
Yeah, they did, but this is what I'm saying. But there was a detective that was assigned to the Black Panther case.
Yeah.
And J. Edgar Hoover. Was it J. Edgar Hoover?
No, he was the president.
No, yeah. What is his name, man?
But
I can't think of the name. But anyway, he killed Huey Newton. Blasted his head.
But here's the thing: he also infiltrated by using one of us, just like
they doing with these protests.
Just like Malcolm X. If we cannot be brought to go against our own people, then half the things would not happen. We are bought and paid for. We go against our own people for the almighty dollar. Sometimes we go against our own people just because. 45 is up there, and you got people of our color sitting up there saying how good he is. Mm-hmm. After all the stuff he done on. We just saw something him on a castle where he made fun of George Floyd.
Yeah. Saying I can't breathe. I can't.
So, and yet we sit up there and we support him. There's people actually supporting him. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about let's not be that anymore. Let's show them that we can come together. Do you think that every time the police did something wrong to one of us, if we were right there, Johnny on the spot, instead of filming and saying and doing what those other brothers did, and no, y'all ain't getting away with that? Do you think that if we stood up like that every time, then they would think twice about getting away with that? And half of the brothers that has died behind the police would not have died. If we stood up and say, no, we're not going to tolerate this. If we stood up and say, no, we're not going to sell our brother out for an almighty dollar. Oh, no, we're not going to stand up for a man who was put there to divide us.
That's a fact.
Because if you look at it, let's be real. Presidents don't have that power. That's from their teaching. They taught us that. So we have to look at why they allow him to get away with so much dirt that he has been getting away with. And nobody has in the powers that be, you want to call it, has stopped that.
The House has the power.
Why haven't they stopped that? Because he's a distraction. While we're looking at him and pointing at him,
the House is doing the dirt.
They're doing their dirt. And we're allowing it. That martial law coming right on in on us.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't even realize how bad martial law is.
Martial law is another way of what do you call it? Control. It's another form of control. And whether people understand it or not is that with martial law, if you get caught out past your curfew, they could kill you. They could literally.
Not only that,
no, but I'm just saying.
You ain't even got to be out. They can run up in your house with martial law and shoot you dead.
I'm just saying, like, I was just giving an example. You can be out past your curfew. You know, you might be late coming from the store, and if you don't comply and, you know, the situation gets to be just a little out of, well, on our behalf, it wouldn't be out of hand, but if they felt like it was something, you know, that they wanted to address, they could kill you. They could literally take your life and say he was out past the curfew, period. They don't have to say no more, no less. He was out past the curfew. There's a curfew when everyone has to be inside. He was outside past the curfew, and this is what happened, right?
Exactly.
And period, point blank, and there's nothing you can do about it. So we got to understand that this population control this thing is so for real, and it's so for real. This pandemic and all of this stuff was placed and strategically placed for population control.
And you had to watch
what's going on,
what you're jumping on the bandwagon for. Because, you know, just like with Mr. K, a lot of people jumped on the bandwagon for Mr. K when he took a knee. But when it came to really doing what they're supposed to do, nobody did it. Nobody stopped. You can't stop them from watching football. They didn't. Once it died down, once it was no more talk, nobody really cared about Mr. K or what was going on with him. Well, not everyone. I wouldn't say nobody, but a lot of people. You know, we gotta realize what we're jumping on the bandwagon for. Just like all the other black people that had died, we jumped on the bandwagon and then we let it go. But we're still allowing them to get killed. We're not stepping up. We'll film. We'll put it on social media in a minute. But are we stepping up to stop it?
Yeah, what Ann said, baby? She said.
I have a black son and black grandson that are peaceful in life that can be killed for their skin. But now they kill all my black daughter, granddaughters for her skin now too. I'm scared every day. Exactly. And that's
Yeah.
why we have to step up. Because they're gonna try to kill us anyway. Some other things do kill. So why not step up? You're gonna die anyway. Why not step up?
At some point, you got to make a stand.
Exactly. We have to stand up. We have to change the predictability that we have. That we can buy this one for the almighty dollar. This one not going to get involved. This one just going to sell. Just going to film and we got to change that.
Got to change the narrative because it's really.
They're going to buy in our stores because they got to have this. No, we can build our own and have our own. We got so many. We will follow Beyonce and Jay-Z and what they doing and this one and what they doing. We need to use our powers that we have because we have powers.
Yeah, we do.
We come together and we can stop it. One of the reasons why there is racist is because, my opinion, once again, I feel like that we are powerful beyond. And if we all came together and woke up and recognized our power, they're running scared. That's why there's so much, they're trying to kill us because they're running scared.
And they're trying to get to everybody before we actually
wake up.
And see, the thing is now people are starting to wake up. That's exactly why the situation I was explaining to you that I saw the other day, those jokers jumped on those police, man, and they was beating them cops up. And I'm like, see, brothers, they waking up and they tired.
And and can you imagine if we did that every time? They wouldn't be so quick to just put their hand in their pocket and lean on our necks. They would not be so quick to do that. If every time they made a move, we made a move.
Yeah.
And we have to recognize what's going on out here and stop getting sucked in, because most of the protests, the violent protests, wasn't even us.
It was people from other cities that come in.
Not only that, there was a lot of white people doing it too.
Yeah, I mean, I told you I saw two white girls during one of the protests. I forget what city it's in, so don't quote me on it or whatever. But these two white girls were dressed in black and they had masks on, and they was walking with the protesters, and they would step off to the side and write on the wall with spray paint, "Black Lives Matter." And they did it for a couple stores or whatever. So these sisters was watching them, and they stopped at one spot, and one of the sisters was like, "Hold up, y'all keep writing on the walls. We ain't doing that. We're not out here to be defacing property. We trying to march in a peaceful march." And so they started going back and forth, and lo and behold, one of the sisters grabbed the face mask off the girl, and she was white, and the other girl was white. So they was like, y'all are out here spray painting on the wall, "Black Lives Matter," and y'all white, y'all doing that, making it look like we're defacing our own property in our own neighborhoods. You know what I mean? Like that, it was a setup. And I was like, that's crazy. That is crazy. So those sisters, they ran those two girls up out of there. But I mean,
and that's what's happening.
They placing them, and they placed them in the protest. They placed them in there so that they could start trouble, so that the riots to begin, so that the police can come in and
so that we can have martial law.
Yeah. So
we have to wake up and we have to stand up, but we have to know when to fight and when not to fight. The main thing is waking up. We first gotta wake up, and then we gotta stand up.
When you wake up and stand up, then what happens is when you stand up, we all need to come to a common solution. One solution that will turn the tide.
I don't think there is one solution.
I
I think
mean,
it's too far gone. And that's my opinion. I think it's too far gone for one solution. I think that we have to have many solutions because, as you said before,
yeah, I mean,
we do one thing and they counteract. So just like they counteract, we have to be prepared to counteract.
yeah.
So we got white people and undercover police hiding in the crack. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So there is not one solution. It is a number of solutions, and we have to come together and we have to wake up.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot no longer afford to let them goat us and let them, when they counter react, that's just it.
No, it's got to be. For every action is a reaction.
Exactly. We got to stand and just.
And all this action that's going on now, you see that the reaction that's going on. These brothers is reacting real. Man, look.
I mean, I'd like to know you guys' opinion. Will you stand? I need to know. Would you stand up or would you shut up? Which would you do? If there was a situation, are you willing to lay your life on the line for your brother? Meaning someone that you don't know. Your brother or your sister. Are you willing to would you take $1 million to betray your brother? Because you know what? That's exactly what happened to Malcolm X. He was betrayed by his own for the almighty dollar.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I'm not even saying right or wrong to that. I'm saying that it happened. And now is the time that it shouldn't happen anymore. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. We have to realize what's happening.
Exactly.
And how it's happening. And where it's happening at. And make provisions to try and stop it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's the only. That's one of the solutions.
Yeah, because talk is over. Talk is cheap now.
Yeah, it's time to.
Yeah, you can only talk but so much, and then it'd be time to do something different. And now is the time to do something different. That talk, that's out the window. That's no more. And you know what? I am a spiritual person. I believe in God. I believe Jesus Christ died on the cross to save us from our sins. And I believe in prayer. And I know that prayer works. But along with prayer, we got to take some action.
Faith without works is dead.
Exactly. We got to take some action. Because there's nothing wrong with prayer. There's nothing wrong with praying. And it works. Yeah. But along with that, some actions need to be done.
We got to take some kind of action. Something has to be done, because if not, this is just destruction of our. There
was wars in the Bible.
Yeah, it sure was. People stood up. You know what's crazy? In the Bible, not crazy, but if you lay down your life for someone, you automatically go to heaven. You know that, right? That's the word of God. If you give your life to save someone else, you automatically go to heaven. If you give your life to save someone else. Right? So, I mean, it's just...
It's about loving your brother.
It's right. It's about... That's what it's about. It's about unity. It's about getting together and...
the Bible says love thy neighbor.
Right. In the Bible, if your neighbor slaps you and then you're supposed to turn the cheek. If your enemy, a person that you have no likes, no nothing, if they ask you for a drink of water, you're supposed to give them water.
Mm-hmm.
If they're cold, you're supposed to give them a jacket.
Mm-hmm.
And that's your enemy.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean...
So why don't we, if that being said, then why don't we stand up for our brother, our sisters who we clearly all are, the same. They don't care light, dark.
Light, dark. I mean,
they
the ways
out to get us. They out destroy us.
They pit black people against each other.
Exactly. And we allow them to do
because you have light skin and you have dark skin, there's a problem.
Yep.
That's I don't want to say retarded. That's not a cool
word. But it is. It's retarded.
It's ridiculous
that we go for that. That we fall every time, not just one time, not 1 or 2 times, and we learn. Every time we fall for it.
It's totally
every time, and that's prominent in the police department, because we even got our own. Mm-hmm. And it's ridiculous.
At the end of the day, people are people, right? So with that being said, black, white, green, purple, if you're doing what's right and you're not bothering anyone, and and you just living your life and you're trying to do what you need to do to take care of your family, what's the problem?
I think the problem is, like I said, I think that they are running scared because they know that we are the chosen ones, and if we realize our power and stop selling each other out, we could take over.
Yeah, we could.
But because we sell each other out, because we kill each other, because we're against each other.
I went to a concert one time in New York. It was at Madison Square Garden, and it was Run DMC, Slick Rick, a couple of other jokers, and KRS-One, right? And KRS-One came on last. And I would never forget this, man. He came out, he started doing his thing. He was like, say ho. You got the whole building. Like, it was thousands of people in Madison Square Garden. Everybody is jumping to his every command. He stopped the music and said, you see that? He said, you see how all of us are in here enjoying ourselves tonight? I say ho, and everybody in here says ho. I say make money, money, money. Everybody in here says make money, money, money. He said, do y'all understand the unity that we have in here tonight? He said, the unity that we have in here tonight, every person in this place in here tonight, he said, it's more people in here than it is in the 5 boroughs of police officers in the state of New York City. He said, there's more people in here than it is police officers. He said, if we all grabbed each other's hand and walked down the street, there would be nothing nobody could do. If we band together, just like we're all enjoying ourselves with the music, if we all enjoyed ourselves with each other, he said, do you understand the power that we would have? People was, and I was like, so I was like, yo.
I charge the artists to stand up, and because we have a lot of artists that stand up, and then we have a lot of artists that don't. Mm-hmm. And I charge. We do. If all our artists was to stand up, you know how powerful that would be.
And then the money that they have
exactly
to put certain things in place.
Exactly.
And listen, it would be. And I think about that all the time. Like, if some of the celebrities came together and just started something, no matter what, I just started something. You understand what I'm saying? And they all put their dollar in. Like, just for instance, say like the Grammys, right? That the Grammys be packed. Challenge everybody that's in there to put $1,000 in a cup. I mean, you got stars, you got millionaires that are in there to build something in the neighborhood, to combat police brutality, something.
Exactly.
Challenge each one of them to put $1,000 in the cup. You know how much money they would have at the end of the night? $1,000, just a drop in a bucket to everybody that's there.
Exactly.
And they could build,
stores in communities, low income communities. Exactly. I 100%, baby. Schools to teach us how to clean water and grow food and things that we need to implement the real history in schools, because we don't have the real history. They need to put the real history in school.
That's a fact. And I just want to make a point of my wife. She laughs at me sometimes, but I encourage anybody that's listening to go on YouTube and pull up bushcrafters.
See, that's true. It's true though, baby.
But I'm telling y'all, man,
I just get these jokers with bushcrafters, okay?
But I'm telling you, these jokers show you how to survive in the woods with a spoon. They show you how to make a shelter. They show you how to keep a fire lit in the snow. To start a fire in the now, it can't be no pouring down torrential rain. But if it's like a nice little drizzle, they show you how that you can start a fire and maintain a fire during the drizzle and the rain.
And guess what? My opinion, but this is June 7th, 2020. Mark my words. God willing, everybody that's hearing my sound of my voice will be around. We're going to need that.
Of course.
We're going to need all that.
Man, listen.
So get out there and teach your children how to do that. Matter of fact, with what's coming down, you need to be teaching, and again, this is my opinion, but you need to be teaching your kids how to defend themselves and how to arm themselves and how to use a weapon.
It's your right. It's an amendment. You have the right to bear arms. So, I mean, if y'all check out bushcrafters, man, I'm telling you, it's something deep. It's definitely something that you get into, and they show you what plants you can eat. You can actually be in the woods and eat plants that won't make you sick. Just like it's collard greens, there's plants that you can eat. You can find onions. You can find all kinds of stuff. Certain sap off trees you can make water out of. I mean,
Hey, Timothy.
What up, fam? What's good with you? I mean, it's a lot that you can learn.
And that's important.
I watch it all the time.
He does. I do laugh at him. But if there's one thing I know, that when it comes to surviving, we're going to be all right.
I don't know if y'all know, but I could charge a battery. I mean, I could charge a cell phone with a 9-volt battery and a paper clip.
We do have a lot to do, Tony. Speak on it.
Yeah, I mean,
speak on it. We do have so much.
What's happening?
It begins with waking people up. And we have had long, drawn out conversations because, again, I say that I don't like the word militant, but a lot of people think that you and I are militant.
That's all right. That just means nobody can pull a wool over your eyes, that you understand what's going on, and that you're not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe. You ain't going to fall for the rhetoric. And there's nothing wrong with that.
But my prayer is that a lot more of us wake up.
Mine too.
Because we need to. We need to wake up. It's way overdue. It's way overdue.
Yeah, it's definitely fast. It's definitely.
And it's good to see that there are there's 2 things on Facebook that I joined. One was a woman's, and one was from New Jersey on Black businesses. And you can go on and put what you do in your Black business. And I'm glad to see that maybe with the George Floyd thing that some people a lot more of us are waking up. But we need to continue that.
You know what? It's like almost like to a certain extent, and I don't want anybody to get ruffled feathers about this when I say this, and it's not in a negative content. It's almost like he was a sacrificial lamb.
Yes.
You understand?
That's the way I look at that. But here's the thing. I
kind of look at it like that too, because it took for that in order for people to get together
some people to wake up.
start going off the way that they. I mean, like
that they need to.
yeah.
But here's my problem that I worry that people will jump on the bandwagon and then they'll let go of it once the story dies down. We need to keep it up.
You're right, cuz she said
nothing wrong with being militant. We need to be more resilient than passive. And you're right. My problem is that I think for me, and I get caught up with words like understand and overstand. For me, militant is what they called us because we stood up for ourselves. And that's why I kind of don't like that word, because it's like, we all the time gotta have a name when they used it in a negative light for us, because they said Malcolm X was militant. A lot of us said Malcolm X was militant. And it was nothing wrong. What's militant about standing for your people and not falling for the okido? What's militant about willing to die for your people and not let them get killed?
See, but here's where the propaganda comes in at. When black people are militant, right, it's a bad thing. But the United States Army is the military.
And that's supposed to be a good thing.
You understand what I'm
and that's
saying?
why I said I don't like the word militant.
And what happens is
I won't allow to be paid.
We need to pay attention in instance like that. You need to pay attention to wordplay. You know what I mean? When black people get together and they say it's militant, it's a bad thing. Oh, they're rebellious, they this, they that. But it's the same thing as the military. They die for the country. Militant, we die for our families. You understand what I'm saying? It's the same thing. And okay, what does Tony say? No, Annabelle.
She said, I'm so sorry to all families that lost their family members to police brutality. Before my brother died, not by the police, he was always harassed in jail because he was black and on the Clinton Avenue in New Jersey block chilling with his boys. They tried to put murder on him and my family. No, he was never that. God was with him. And that's the point of standing up and not allowing, because that happens to all of, especially in the neighborhoods of New York and New Jersey, that we can't, if we stand around, we're in a gang. If we have a certain place that we gather, if there's more than two of us, we're a gang.
We're a gang, or we're selling drugs, or some negative connotation.
If we're driving a nice car, we're a gang. I remember when beepers first came out. And if you had a beeper, and matter of fact, I went off on my boss for that because I had a beeper. And he made a joke. Oh, what are you selling drugs now, Terry? We don't pay you enough. And that was not, it's like we have to, you
gotta check them.
Yeah. Anything that we do because we have a little bit of money or something like that, it's something we're selling drugs. Like, wait a minute. Tony said, thank you for making that point, Jill. You took the words right out of my mouth. And he's right. It's true. But see, that's why I don't go in for certain words, because of the fact it's their words on us. Just like I saw the other day, this just happened. It was on Facebook. And they were from our area. They were from Atlanta. And a guy, what's the name of that rapper, baby?
Young, what was his name? Black Youngster. What happened with Black Youngster was he went into a bank, and Black Youngster he's a paid rapper, and he went into a bank.
Yes, they are. Police are the biggest gangs. That's true.
Yeah, they are. He went into a bank and he withdrew $200,000 because he was going to buy himself a Mercedes Benz. And he's from here. It happened here in Atlanta. He was going to buy himself a Mercedes Benz, and I guess the bank manager or the clerks or whatever, somebody called the cops on him. And when the police came, they made him get on the ground. They had his handcuffed.
They drew a gun on him. Held a gun on him.
They had him on the ground with guns behind his head and stuff like that.
And their excuse was that they were called about a robbery. Now, here's my thing. First of all, my first thing was what was the name of the bank? And it took me like
it
was Wells Fargo, but it took me like 3 or 4 times to listen to it because they only said the name Wells Fargo one time. Now, here's my problem with that. It started with the bank. So I need to know which bank that is because if I don't like Wells Fargo myself, my opinion, once again. But if I had money in Wells Fargo, for me, immediately withdraw all my money and go to another bank. If I did banks, I really don't like banks or believe in banks. But anyway, that's the first thing because that's important. Because I don't care, Wells Fargo, maybe it was just to that Wells Fargo in Atlanta, but it's still Wells Fargo. You represent.
You represent that entity.
Yeah, that entity. And the fact that they're going to call the cops on a black man because he withdrew
his own money.
And for people who don't deal with banks, let me tell you, in order to get money out of the bank, even if it's your account, you need an ID, a photo ID. Then you need another type ID. Okay? So he had to go through this to withdraw 200,000 out of his account. So they automatically knew who he was. So you call the cops on this guy for drawing 200,000 of his own money?
And he's young. He's not even 26 years old.
And the fact that, okay, with
I don't think
what just happened with George Floyd, okay? That's the first thing. You do this with what just happened to George Floyd, you're going to call the cops. Now, second of all, what if the cops had to draw their guns on him was bad enough, but they could have killed him. All because he drew his money to buy a car because he likes to pay cash for a thing for himself. That's the problem. So Wells Fargo out the window. And this is what I say about us. For us, automatically any black person in the United States that has money with Wells Fargo should go get their money and find another bank.
And if they pull it out, do you understand the dent that
exactly.
in Wells Fargo?
That's what I'm saying. That's what we need to start doing. And do you know what we have the power to bring down?
Man, we got the power to shut this whole thing down.
Exactly.
What?
But we're not going to do that.
Nah, because people are going to say, oh, man, I need my little bit of money.
Exactly. And I need to stay with Wells Fargo because they think it's good to be. I've never had a problem with Wells Fargo. I like their bank. Their fees are better than the other.
I get an excellent Christmas club rate with them. And, man, listen, cut it out. Knock it off. Wow, time is flying.
Yeah, it is. But definitely, those are the things that we need to do. And then, on top of that, we need to check out our police officers because they should not have been allowed to put no gun to his head.
Yeah, that's great. And the bank manager should be
fired.
He should be fired.
Fired.
He should be fired.
On top of taking our money out of
he should be fired.
The bank.
The bank manager should be fired. Yes, he should. There should be consequences for everyone that has something to do with black youngsters. The clerk,
exactly,
from the manager to the clerk, whoever had something to do with him, dealing with him that day, they all should be fired. Black, white, whatever color they are, they all should be fired. They all
and the officers should be fired for drawing their gun
on a man that withdrew his own, and they was laughing. They was laughing while he was on the ground with the guns to the back of his head.
We have to stand up, guys. Not shut up, stand up.
Yes, we gotta stand up.
I mean, I know the show is stand up or shut up, but we need to stand up and we need to change how we do things.
I think we shut up too long.
Yeah, we have. We have.
I think we shut up.
It's time for actions. It's time for no. We will not take this any longer. This is not going to be. And if you're a business that condone this kind of stuff, then we won't be doing business with you no more.
Yeah,
and build our own businesses. There are black banks.
There's black everywhere.
And we can make more. We can build more in our community, in our area.
So, family, with that being said, um, our time has come to an end
And I appreciate the support
for the
that
show
you
tonight.
have given us. I am kind of disappointed that more people wasn't on for this.
Whatever the case may be, it's all right. We still got our message across. And
Yeah.
if someone is, if one person listens and they
Like
help
and share.
someone, then we did our job.
Like and share,
Like
like
and
and share.
share.
Please share, especially this show. You know, I care about all my shows, but this show was very important. So like and share. We are on YouTube live as we stream on Facebook live.
And if you didn't catch this episode live, just go to my page, my wife's page, Hatchet
YouTube.
Chronicles, YouTube, and you can still watch this episode. I think it's very informative, and just check it out, man. And we appreciate you guys.
And let's come together.
Yeah. And
support each other. We love you guys.
yeah, we love y'all. Thanks for the support. And anybody with a topic, you know what to do. Drop a line on us, man, and we'll definitely get to the topic. And with that being said, we appreciate
wait, you gotta do the hits again.
Well, I just I got the DJ thing going on.
Thursday.
Well, it's my wife wants it to be 4 Alarm Thursday every Thursday, but I have a theme that I'm doing. It's a 4 alarm because anytime you hit a horn, you can put the fire emojis up. It's still going to be a blaze, but each Thursday I have a different theme that I'm going to do because last Thursday was dope. I played a lot of, good music, and it was like a lot of club stuff that everybody wanted to hear. And then some people were having requests. So my thing for this Thursday is the request that a lot of people had. It's all of those songs that were requested are kind of like all in the same realm and all at the same time.
Tony. He said thank you. Next week we need to go at this subject matter again.
Yeah, we could do a part 2 to this. That'll be dope.
Definitely.
That'll be dope. So this Thursday, I'm gonna do a throwback Thursday, and all of the songs, like a couple of the songs that were requested, all of those songs came out at the same time or around the same time, or these were the songs that everybody was rocking to in the club at that time. So I think I'm gonna do a throwback Thursday, but it's still a 4 alarm.
That's what I was gonna answer. You say that I say 4 alarm Thursday because that's the name of the show. It don't mean that you can't change up the theme of it.
It's the 4 alarm was the theme for the first show.
But like for instance, we're Hatchet Chronicles, but each week we have different subjects. So can it be named 4 Alarm Thursday, but then each Thursday you have a different?
That's not how I am.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's not my show, so I shouldn't be even. I
understand what you're saying, but that's my vision is different because each Thursday I want to do something different, and I want to do a whole different thing from what I did last week. You know what I mean? Some of the music matter of fact, a lot of the music I played last week, I'm not going to play on Thursday.
Okay.
I'm not even going to.
You're not supposed to repeat.
So, I mean, some of the joints they're hits, so you got to play them because that's what people enjoy. But I'm saying there's still going to be a 4 alarm blaze regardless of what it is, because.
And that's why
whenever you hear it, what I did was I put it out there so they know whenever I'm DJing and they hear that alarm go off, they know to put those fire emojis up because it's hot. It's getting hot.
That's the name of the show should be 4 Alarm Thursday, and then you put the theme under it.
No, that's too much. That's doing too much. Okay. So thank you guys. Okay, man. Well let me just do my shout out. I got the beat tape out, and it's on all stream sites. I got the Thursdays going on. We working on the class for beginner beat makers. And we got my wife and I, we have a book that we're writing. So we got some stuff in the works, man. And with From My Rib. Yeah, the book is called From My Rib. And
shout out to Ann Simons, Mattio, my editor, and my friend and my sister. Thank you. Also, I have my book still for sale, The Power of God. I'm writing my second book, Life After Bending Knees. I my sister has the Corona Chronicles that I'm writing a chapter in. Look out for that. The name might be changed though, but it's coming out soon.
And she has the web series
Web
also.
series, the Ladies of the Book Club web series. My husband
Come
did
on,
the theme song and another song on this. He did the theme song for the Ladies of the Book Club, and on part two, he did one of the songs for part two, the men scene. So look out for that. She has her books for sale: the Book Club One, the Book Club Two, Carol's Return. I am. I do contracts, you guys, especially entertainment contracts. If you need a contract for anything that you're doing, call me. I am going back into there's a lot of people who wanting to start a business and they're sitting around, they don't know where to start. I'm your person for that. Give me a call. I have packages, reasonable prices. Call me. I can help you start up your business. And that's it. I think that's all we do. We got a lot of stuff going
yeah,
on.
yeah. So with that being said, man, we love y'all. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the topics.
Thanks for responding. We like to be talked to.
And this is the Hatchet Chronicles, and we are out. And thank you guys.